Welcome to Mind in a Bind. Take a breather, turn around certain ideas, and brighten up your mundane life with a fresh outlook. Listen on and tune in to the Takeaways from Life by Anita SJ.
Train your impulse. Everything is ever changing. Our body, physically, also our mind, with its constantly updating perceptions, keeps evolving all the time. Why? Even in non-living things, thanks to science, we know that there is movement at the molecular level. A solid piece of wood seems to be sitting like dead, but when we set our thoughts in motion, yes, when we begin to think, we know that there is action that goes on all the time, even in, say, a table or a chair. The atoms and molecules are constantly moving, shaking back and forth, kind of moving, or even twisting in the same place at times, but moving all the same. Safe to assume then, the only thing that remains constant is action. Imagine that you are in a moving train, not quietly sitting, but taking a walk in the aisle, to and fro, to and fro. You will have to hold your reeling head in your hand and sit after a while, unless you are a James Bond. Your balance exhaustively disturbed, you can neither walk straight nor think straight for some time. The moving of the train was a condition not in your control, but you could keep your body still to be in harmony. You would surely have enjoyed the ride if you had not disrupted your balance by senselessly moving to and fro repeatedly. What action denotes is the flow of eternal life that never stops, no end dot. And the peculiarity of the action is that it is always in the now, or in other words, we are either moving or resting in that constant action. One can maintain balance by aligning one's movement with the universal movement. One can perfect this now that we are living by aligning our actions to the greater will, which again is nothing but action or flow of eternal life. For the performance in the now to be perfect, one has to draw out from what we have learned from our past, but quickly, impulsively, quite like automatically from our experience, careful not to wander or delve too deep in the past, for then we might slack in our action. The impulsive, almost like intuitive wisdom comes of use in the present performance or in the action now. For the action in the now to be flawless, the training of the impulse has to be perfect. When in the now, you cannot lapse in the past or dwell in the future, as you are to be vigilant in the action now. And to excel in your performance in the now, the training of your impulse has to be impeccable, as the quality of your performance, or rather the perfection in the performance, will be corresponding to the training of the impulse. And how do we then train our impulses? If you remember the days when you were learning to drive, you were then so very conscious of the now seemingly simple activities like using the brakes or changing gears. What happens is over time, when you repeat an activity, it develops into a skill. You may have noticed a piano player smoothly playing a difficult tune, or for that matter an IT guy's fingers effortlessly flying on the keyboard. The activities that were at the conscious mind's level were those that we were conscious of, aware of, but unknowingly we have trained ourselves into absorbing that activity at a subconscious level, where it has gone into an auto mode and the conscious mind is now free to occupy the conscious attention space to do other things, to learn other skills. Now this activity was a physical activity that converted into a skill. Let us look at a mental activity that just as similarly converts into an instinct or an impulse. Your conscious mind is aware of the pressure felt in doing a particular work. If you know how it feels when you have to do something that you dislike, that feeling of displeasure, feeling chained, tied up like some heavy weight on your neck. This feeling of discomfort, discontent that you are conscious of keeps repeating itself Monday to Friday, over and over again, week after week. Now, on a Monday and sometimes beginning from Sunday night itself, this feeling, this mood sets in. The feeling is fed into your subconscious mind, and as an autopilot reaction, the feeling of stress saved in your subconscious mind is instinctively unleashed onto your conscious mind. Just like an activity repeated develops into a skill, becomes part of our subconscious, an unhappy thought also, when repeated several times over and over, becomes an expression of the subconscious mind, expressed through our conscious mind impulsively. And that is how we train our impulses.
Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. I am happier today. Share the thoughts, subscribe so that you don't miss on our upcoming episodes.